a judgment meaning kan I just watched my OLED screenshot the other day and my first two old video are at beautiful in my intro. Beautiful? Really are it? I was goddamn cheesy. Anyway, in today's video, let me tell you a story of a smart anime character that caused a huge fire in the anime community. Actually, more like people are making a huge deal out of a small campfire. This is the little pixie cut white hair Uzaki-Chan Saga. Introduction: Uzaki-Chan wants to hang out, or Uzaki-Chan wa Asobitai, is an anime about a protagonist named Sakurai Shinichi. He's a normal person who one wish is for a little peace and quiet, but Uzaki Hana, his boisterous, well-endowed underclassman, has other plans. All she wants is to hang out and poke fun at him. Basically, this is Karakai Juzo no Tagaki-sama with a buff protagonist and a nerve-smug waifu. This anime already got a lot of review, but I will talk about it in the later segment. But for now, let's jump into the early arc of the saga. It started when the Japanese Red Cross decided to collaborate with the character Uzaki-Chan, this cute, lovable and smart Uzaki-Chan, and use her as a promotional material for one of their campaign back in the month of October 2019. It went great. For every each people that voluntarily donate their blood to the organization, the donor will get a free Uzaki-Chan related merchandise as a gift. Obviously, the young otaku impatiently rushed down to sacrifice their blood. For the smart god that is Uzaki-Chan. Thus, this result in one of the biggest blood donations that they have ever received in recent years, thanks to Uzaki-Chan. However, a certain entitled journalist, which name I will not speak as I don't want to give them any more credit than it should be, are not very keen on the idea of Uzaki-Chan used as a promotional material. So they took it to Twitter, as they should, and write an article about it, which they give a statement in quote: "Erotic anime has a place and this ain't it, fam." I'm just paraphrasing, but that's what it is. Their statement have caught the attention of a Japanese feminist lawyer named Ota Keiko. As bonus information, Ota is the person that issued out NHK's use of virtual YouTuber Kizuna Ai. I'm telling you guys this information so that you guys know who are we dealing with right now. Both of those individuals have the same reasoning onto why did they both find the Uzaki-Chan poster to be problematic, and it's because it sexualizes women in public area and it sets an unrealistic standard of beauty for women, and also it is some kind of a sexual harassment towards women in Japan. I'm only paraphrasing all of this here, but that's what the gist of it. Now, I know most of you have the same reaction as I do, and that you're cringing and frustrated right about now. And so do I, and this is where I have to interject myself. First of all, I can assume that the journalists must have not go to Akihabara often. It's obvious because if they were, they would have realized and aware that those type of marketing ploy are basically everywhere, not just only in Akihabara but in every major city in Japan. Not just in Japan actually, in the entire world. So let's just give them benefit of the doubt and let's assume what they meant, since they never specify in their article, is that it is inappropriate to use a character like Uzaki-Chan as a promotional material for something formal like a blood donation event, which is understandable. But does it matter in the end? The Japanese Red Cross gained a lot of benefit, and plus it helped the main cause in the end, so I don't understand why they are making mountain out of an anthill. If anything, they're causing harm rather than helping the situation, issuing this problem because they're endangering other people's lives by indirectly causing people to not feel the need to donate their blood. Hence, the hospital don't have the enough supply of blood that they need. I know it's a little bit of an extreme statement to make, but you know how humans work. Let's fake it, they don't really care. They care to only satisfy their own agenda, even if it's going to harm everybody else. Based off the original poster that they have issued with, which is this one, it was not that sexualized to begin with. If they find that poster to be over sexualized, on there the problem, let's be real, they have problem with the poster because Uzaki-Chan has some huge bonkers. Because again, in the original poster, Uzaki-Chan are not that high school dandy revealing at all. She's covered from top to bottom. If Uzaki-Chan has more smaller and more the size, I think they probably won't have any problem with this poster. Based on the article that the journalists wrote, there are a lot of flaws in their statement and in their argument, one of which is they're always contradicting on what they have stated. At the beginning, they stated they have no problem with ecchi anime, which Uzaki-Chan is not an ecchi anime. Hell, Uzaki-Chan wants to play is far off from an ecchi anime, but let's give them a benefit of the doubt again. And they also fine with sexualized depiction of men and women, but then later they stated that sexualized picture of women in particular reinforced the view that women exist primarily as sexual object for men, which implies that they do have a problem with women being sexualized. Come on, dude, pick a line here. You either not or you're okay with it, because you keep backtracking here. For one, their argument in this statement is loose in so many ways, but I let them slide in that one. I can go through on and on with the article, but it's not about them, it's about Uzaki-Chan is destroying everybody just by existing. But there's another thing that I want to quickly point out, and is that later in the end of the article they made a statement by, in quote, putting over sexual image like this out in the public sphere sends a message. It says, this is how you should treat women. This statement was made in the context that there are many women expressing doubt about how Japanese society treats women. Groping and sexual harassment issues persist, and the improper dismissal of several sexual assault cases, which I'm not going to deny it. Japan does have a huge problem when it comes to sexual harassment and sexual abuse, but their logic is so absurd that it's difficult for me to even agree with them when it comes to portraying of women in anime. With their logic, let's take for example JoJo Bizarre Adventure and Free X for example. Both of those shows are easily the most transparent when it comes to its portraying of men and male fan service anime, with JoJo having one of the most ridiculous male body build, and with Free literally have a bunch of perfect built high school boys half naked swimming. By their standard, I can easily say with how both of those anime portray its men, the anime is trying to send the message that, hey, this is how you should treat men. Don't you see how imprecise with their argument is? There is always going to be a common theme in this video, and it's this double standard that this type of people have. Anyway, with that out of the way, in the end of the situation, the Japanese Red Cross cut ties with Uzaki-Chan at one point after the controversy, and they used a different promotional material for their next campaign, and lo and behold, it wasn't as successful as their campaign event with Uzaki-Chan. Go figure. The good news is that in 2020 they reunited with Uzaki-Chan and started to use her again, which is nice. I hope they learn to not bend their knees for dumb people ever again. After that, the whole controversy thing with Uzaki-Chan went calm and everybody just keeps moving on with their day peacefully. But then Uzaki-Chan got announced she will get an anime adaptation, and culture weeb all over the world, including me, rejoice as our smart queen finally gaining the recognition that she deserves. Yeah. All of us started to pop the champagne and celebrate with glory until the Twitter people attack, and what's to come is not champagne anymore. It's only pain. Before I dive into the hell pool of hate, let's talk about a poll that was made for Uzaki-Chan and the review for the Uzaki-Chan anime. Okay, let's start with the poll. Right after the whole shenanigans, someone made a poll asking to 1,600 Japanese people on whether they felt the Uzaki-Chan poster is problematic or not. Based on what I can observe, the main point that this poll tries to make is to determine whether Japanese people are find the poster to be problematic or not. and it seems like they try to make the conclusion that most Japanese people felt. Oh no, wait, excuse me. Make the conclusion that most Japanese women felt that the poster is problematic. I don't know about you, but only asking 1,600 out of 126.5 million is not most, my guy. You're basically only asking 1.26% of the population. Not only that, the poll has a lot of discrepancy in it. It doesn't specify the total ratio between male and female. The choice that was given was clearly biased. What type of people that take the poll? Are they anime fan or non-anime fan? And not enough recipient to make the conclusion that most Japanese women find the poster to be problematic. In all honesty, there are better way to do this poll, but let's be honest, clearly the person who made this poll have a certain agenda. That's that for the poll situation. Let's move on the review. In my opinion, the animes was decent as a slice of life anime. The animation was fairly good visual, fun sound design, and plus the voice actor that played Uzaki-Chan was spot on. However, the design that they made for Uzaki is a little bit off compared to its manga counterpart. Other than that, it's your typical rom-com slice of life anime with an okay story but with great character dynamics. So I can give the anime a like 7 out of 10. I would amp it up a little bit if it has some interesting and fun concepts such as the anime Arakawa Under the Bridge or Dagachi Kashi. Putting aside my review, this anime has received a fair mixed review with some people really liking it and some people really hating it. For this video, I will focus on the negative one because the amount of hate that this anime got is outlandish to say at least. I will not showcase the review one by one because it's going to stretch the video longer, but I will point out the argument that all of the negative review have in common. First of all, to be fair, some of the negative review is fair criticism, and it's understandable if the anime is just not your cup of tea, or maybe you're not really interested with the premise that the anime have, or probably you don't like Uzaki-Chan as a character. All of those are fair point to make, but then if you hate in an anime just because it has a character that has big coconut, that's where your argument started to fall apart. Hating a character just because she has a big breast, it's like me hating on The Rock just because he has muscle. It's a loose argument to make. It's comprehensible if you felt uncomfortable saying a huge breast, but to go out of your way to base your entire argument surrounding her huge rack is just ridiculous. Another common stupid thing is that some of them trying to review this anime like they're trying to review an Oscar-worthy blockbuster film. They will nitpick every each minor detail and try to deeply interpret it like some kind of complex psychology romance. Like, chill down, it's just a normal slice of life anime, not fucking Children of the Sea. By the way, Children of the Sea is a great anime. You better go watch it. If don't, I'm gonna stuck up a bubblegum up in your ass. Seriously though, know how to appropriately review a certain anime with the necessary standard. Reviewing rom-com anime like how you review a rom-com anime, not review it like an action-packed complex seinen anime. Am I asking too much here? There's one review where they write that Uzaki-Chan is being overly assertive towards the MC, which in my opinion, fair point. But then they write shit like because of Uzaki-Chan behavior, it creates a toxic dynamic between her and the MC because she keeps teasing that the MC will feel lonely without her when clearly she will feel lonely without the MC, and that the MC feel fine just being alone. Congrats! You just deduced the whole point of the dynamic. Whoop-de-doo, congrats. Congrats, you deserve it. If you're a fan of Uzaki-Chan and have read the manga, you know that at one point Uzaki has her moment where she feels barren without her senpai on her side. I'm not going to the whole philosophy of the relationship between senpai and Uzaki, but let's end this segment here. I want to end the video here, but I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, Twitter. Just a heads up, I have quit Twitter a long time ago. So shout out to the man Hirohei. He report on anything anime related daily in his YouTube channel. He also goes to Twitter, so I and you don't have to. Again, shout out to him for providing the tweet and the information I need to see. If you want to get to the information firsthand, go to his channel, maybe leave a subscribe if you like what he's doing. I'm not going to make this segment long because most of the hate and valid argument that Uzaki got on Twitter is just the same as anywhere else. It's just comment about where is the organ, where is her spine. You guys are pedophile for liking Uzaki because she's underage, when in reality Uzaki-Chan is well past 18. She's 19 in the goddamn anime. I will never understand what deemed as pedophile in their standard. Clearly Uzaki is well past the legal age in most countries, but just because she looks like 14 years old, to those people that like weep like me, that like Uzaki-chan will still deem as pedophile, which is fucking ridiculous. Like when they're asking where is her organ, you should asking where is your brain. Do they even know that people in Asia tends to look more younger than their age in real life as well? Just look it up on Google. You can easily find a handful of Japanese girl that looks more younger than an age. Then there's the disproportion argument where they say that Uzaki whole body proportion is not balanced, which got debunked. Then there's the unrealistic body type where they say that it's impossible and realistic for a short woman to have that huge, that big of a bust size, which based on one Hirugaki video, there's a Japanese woman debunks that shit. Then there's the bust size problem, which they say that her breast is too big. I'm guessing most of them never heard of Hitomi Tanaka or Kao Shibuya before. All of them sound like a broken record at this point. This shit always occur every season with different target. Not long time ago, it happened with Bokuaka character with Uraraka and that one hero from Bokuaka, I forgot her name. Even before that, it was happened to High School DNE character and now Uzaki, thanks to that bastard from the first arc. It's a continuous of never-ending cycle, and every time they always bring up the same argument. They always try to mind gymnastic their way to find a problem with this innocent fictional anime character, and it's always the same type of people as well. Progressive people that preach body positivity but then ridicule a harmless anime character because the anime character doesn't represent the realistic body type of women in real life, because most of them are too skinny, said by them. They condemn fat phobic behavior, but as far as I can see, them hating on skinny type, it just as horrible as people hating fat people. It is what it is. Then if they're not satisfied with the art, then decided to quote unquote fix it and decided to showcase the most bullshit version of it, which is much more way worse than the original version.
Joke. I was really thinking this was 99.99% a joke.
And don't get me started on the racial shit. I'm not going on to open that can of worm. It's really sad, to be honest. I will never understand these people. I'm done here. I'm not even bothered with it anymore at this point. Oh man, as an added bonus content, a person on Twitter decided to post a video of a guy showing his car with Uzaki sticker, which I found it to be really nice. But one of the response for that post is that they want to crash that Uzaki-chan car if they ever see it on the street. Another one is that there's a drawing showing Abby, yes, Abby from the Last of Shit Ass, punched the head off of Uzaki. The drawing was very gruesome and horrible, but you know what? It's funny and ironic actually in how they try to express hate by expressing a meaning on trying to commit violence. I swear to the people, life must be miserable, and I'm glad I left that hellhole a long time ago. That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, see you guys next time. Always enjoy your life despite what problem you have. Selamat tinggal, sayonara, matane. Have a nice day and bye-bye.
僕らバカになって宙を待って今だけを忘れてらたた踊り明かそうこの夜を明かそう涙を干して眠るように嘘になってしまわぬように僕じゃない僕にもらったた最低な許すだけですね君となら僕は明かしてみたいさよならは言えたの
ダメよダメよあんたが好きで好きで